the fuck across, fuck your face.
Fuck off! Man! Man! مادر زنده توی خاره تو گایم.
A peaceful demonstration in the heart of London descended into chaos on Saturday as pro-Iranian government supporters clashed with anti-regime protesters. The rally, organized to show solidarity with the ongoing protests in Iran, was marred by a shocking act of violence when a young Iranian woman was physically assaulted. Eyewitnesses reported seeing the woman, who was holding a sign critical of the Iranian government, being surrounded by a group of men who proceeded to shove and punch her. The attack sent shockwaves through the crowd, turning a peaceful demonstration into a scene of fear and confusion. This incident has sparked outrage and condemnation from both the public and politicians, raising concerns about the escalating tensions between pro- and anti-Iranian government factions. The victim, a 28-year-old Iranian national living in London, was taken to hospital with minor injuries. The attack on the young woman is a stark reminder of the deep divisions that exist within the Iranian community, both in Iran and abroad. It also highlights the challenges faced by those who dare to speak out against the Iranian government, even in democratic countries like the United Kingdom. The incident has sparked a debate about freedom of speech and the right to protest peacefully without fear of intimidation or violence. Police are currently investigating the incident and are appealing for witnesses to come forward.
I am sorry, yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, you know what?
What happened?
This was so bad.
Yeah.
And a group of 5-6 people, not many, came here to basically just play music and just sort of, they were literally just here. At first the security guys were fine, they were not aggressive, the security were fine, but then it wasn't the security, there were people that have gone inside, they just attacked him like properly, beat him up with a stick, hit him like proper. The violent part of it, I was too scared. I ran back, but I've got some of it on my story. His English may not be that great. Begu. He wants to tell me something in They've taken. Jesus. Okay. They've got. He works with the other, like the Pahlavi team, right? So the other. Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm a bit shocked. So they took his mobile phones. They try to. I actually was just photographing. I asked the security guys, they were totally fine with it. And as I was photographing a woman that went in, this is right at the start, she slapped my hand, I mean, they're really unbelievable. But anyway, aside from that, this all kicked off. And I called the police. I mean, it was bad. It was really bad.
So who's actually attacked them? Was it the security guards?
No, they're in there. The people that have attacked them are in there.
So there were 6 people. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Where are the other 3?
Well, one, there may not have been 6. There might have been 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one is on the floor. 6.
1, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. They've attacked all our people. They've
How many people came out?
Oh, a lot. There were a few. There were a good bunch of them.
Before all of this happened, did they say anything that could have aggravated them in any way?
They were just there. I mean, you know what? They were there holding the flag of the Reza Pahlavi, the rightful person of Iran. I mean, look at this. And they just basically went for them. They literally went for them. This is so bad. They've attacked all. Thank God you're here. Thank God you're here. Thank God. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's so bad.
No, we're coming here to protest. Everyone coming here to protest.
This attack comes at a time of heightened tensions following the death of Mahsa Amini in Iran last year, which sparked widespread protests against the country's strict Islamic dress code and the government's authoritarian rule. The victim of Saturday's attack, who wishes to remain anonymous for fear of reprisals, spoke exclusively to The Independent from her hospital bed. Visibly shaken but determined, she recounted the events that led to the assault. "I was simply holding a sign that said, 'Women, Life, Freedom,' the slogan of the Iranian protests, when I was suddenly surrounded by these men," she said. "They started shouting at me, calling me a traitor and a Western puppet. Then they started pushing and shoving me, and one of them punched me in the face." Born and raised in Tehran, the victim had first-hand experience with the Iranian government's repressive policies. She described a climate of fear and censorship, where expressing dissenting views could lead to harassment, imprisonment, or worse. "I left Iran because I could no longer live in a country where my voice was silenced, where I had no freedom," she explained. "But even here in London, it seems we are not safe from the regime's long arm." Despite the traumatic experience, the young woman remained defiant. "This attack will not silence me. It only strengthens my resolve to fight for freedom and justice in Iran. We will not be silenced." Her courage and determination have resonated with many within the Iranian diaspora and beyond, turning her into a symbol of resistance against oppression. The attack on the young woman has sent shockwaves through the Iranian community in London and beyond. Many expressed their outrage at the violence, while others voiced concerns about the growing polarization within the community. Community leaders have condemned the attack and called for unity. They emphasized the importance of peaceful dialogue and respecting differing viewpoints. However, the attack has also galvanized many within the Iranian diaspora, fueling their determination to continue fighting for change in Iran. Protests and vigils have been held in cities around the world, with demonstrators expressing solidarity with the victim and reiterating their calls for an end to the Iranian government's repression. Social media platforms have been flooded with messages of support for the young woman, with many using the hashtag #WeStandWithHer to express their solidarity. The incident has also brought the issue of the Iranian government's crackdown on dissent to the forefront of international attention. Human rights organizations have condemned the attack and urged the UK government to take concrete steps to protect Iranian activists and dissidents living in the country. The attack has also sparked a debate about the responsibility of social media companies in curbing online hate speech and incitement to violence. The outpouring of support for the victim and the condemnation of the attack reflect a growing global awareness of the human rights situation in Iran. The international community is increasingly recognizing the courage of those who dare to speak out against the Iranian regime, even at great personal risk. The attack has exposed the deep divisions within the Iranian community in London, reflecting the broader political fault lines that exist within Iran itself. The incident has sparked heated debates about the nature of the Iranian government, the role of religion in society, and the future of the country. On one side of the divide are those who support the Iranian government and its policies. They argue that the Islamic Republic is the only legitimate government in Iran, and that any opposition to it is tantamount to treason. They view the protests in Iran as a foreign-backed conspiracy to destabilize the country. This group often accuses the West of hypocrisy, pointing to its own history of intervention in the Middle East. On the other side of the divide are those who oppose the Iranian government and advocate for democratic reforms. They view the Islamic Republic as an authoritarian regime that suppresses basic freedoms and violates human rights. They see the protests in Iran as a genuine expression of the people's desire for change. This group often feels frustrated by what they see as the international community's inaction in the face of the Iranian government's crackdown on dissent. The attack has also highlighted the challenges faced by the Iranian diaspora in navigating these complex political realities. Many feel torn between their loyalty to their homeland and their desire for a better future for Iran. In the aftermath of the attack, There have been growing calls for justice and government action. The victim has called upon the UK government to take a stronger stance against the Iranian government and to provide greater protection for Iranian activists living in the UK. She stressed the need for accountability, urging the authorities to bring the perpetrators of the attack to justice. Several British politicians have expressed their solidarity with the victim and condemned the attack. They have called for a review of security measures at protests and demonstrations to ensure the safety of all participants. Some have urged the government to consider designating the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, as a terrorist organization, citing its role in suppressing dissent in Iran and its alleged involvement in threats against individuals abroad. The UK government has condemned the attack and reiterated its commitment to upholding freedom of speech and the right to peaceful assembly. The Home Secretary has announced an investigation into the incident and promised to take action against those found responsible for the violence. The police have stepped up patrols in areas frequented by the Iranian community and are working to identify and apprehend the attackers. However, many within the Iranian community feel that the government's response has been inadequate. They argue that more needs to be done to address the root causes of the tensions and to protect those who are at risk. The attack in London is a stark reminder that the struggle for freedom and democracy in Iran is far from over. It is a struggle that is being fought both within Iran and beyond its borders, by those who dare to dream of a different future for their country. The incident has highlighted the challenges faced by Iranian activists and dissidents, both at home and abroad. It has also underscored the need for greater international solidarity and support for their cause. The international community has a moral obligation to speak out against human rights abuses in Iran and to hold the Iranian government accountable for its actions. This includes imposing targeted sanctions on those responsible for human rights violations and supporting the Iranian people's aspirations for a more democratic future. Despite the challenges they face, Iranian activists remain resilient. They are determined to continue their struggle for freedom and justice, inspired by the sacrifices of those who have come before them. The attack in London, while shocking, has only strengthened their resolve to fight for a better future for Iran. The road ahead may be long and arduous, but they are undeterred. As the young woman who was attacked so bravely declared, "We will not be silenced." Her words are a powerful reminder that the human spirit cannot be crushed by violence and oppression. They are a beacon of hope for a brighter future for Iran, a future where all its citizens can live in freedom and dignity.